Most of us here in Connecticut have at least driven by the state capitol building, but have you ever actually been in and taken a tour of it?
All right, well, as part of our We the People series celebrating America's 250th birthday, I did.
Oh my God, how exciting.
Yeah, if those walls could talk, let me tell you, so much history. Check it out.
So welcome to the Capitol. I'm Kim. You can take photos anywhere you like.
Kim Fabrizio was a history major in school and, like most of us, grew up passing the state capitol building.
Come on in.
She's now the director of the tour program where she gets to share her knowledge with countless visitors.
I think it was the history, what goes on here, what has happened here, just knowing that you're in the seat of so much activity. It's, you know, a busy place, but then there are days where it's quiet and you can just enjoy the building for its art and architecture.
The art and architecture is what draws so many people in. It's pristine and well-maintained after more than 140 years.
It's a historic building. It is a National Historic Landmark. It was constructed 1872 to 1878, so a pretty quick project. Major restoration took place in the 1980s, and part of that involved the restoration of the stenciling, the painting in the building. That took about 3 years. It's the 5th state house in our history. We had co-capitals of Hartford and New Haven from 1701 until 1875. So a lot's gone on in the building, and a lot will still go on.
Let's look a little more closely at some of the fine details.
The stenciling was designed by William James McPherson. He was a decorator from the Boston area, and he designed the floor patterns, the light fixtures, the stained glass windows. That's another great thing we have, beautiful stained glass windows. The stone is mostly Connecticut and New England granite and marble, so definitely from our area.
But it almost didn't have one highly visible element.
The original design for the Capitol included a clock tower, not a dome.
No way.
Because Upjohn was a church designer. The style High Victorian Gothic was used mostly in churches and universities. We're a one-of-a-kind building. He had a committee that he had to work with, and some of the members said a clock tower is related to time. It's a weak element. They didn't want anybody to think we had a weak government, and they argued that the dome had that sense of authority. And then Upjohn was told to change some of the blocks that go in the supporting piers. He designed them to be made of solid granite. Consulting engineer thought they could save money by substituting interior of brick and a shell of granite. But unfortunately, the mortar wasn't made right, and the bricks settled to the bottom of the blocks. This is in the 1870s. So as you come through the building, you'll see cracks in the center from the 1870s. The dome is fine. Printer's lead was poured into the cavities to stop any potential cracking.
And the genius of Connecticut, a 3-ton bronze figure used to sit on top of that dome.
Genius means protector in this case. So we like to say she reminds us the state is protecting us through lawmaking. In 1938, there was a hurricane, did quite a bit of damage in the state, and people were concerned the statue was compromised. And the thought of this 3-ton statue falling 257 feet, basically 22 stories, made them nervous. She was stored briefly in the Capitol, and then in 1942 donated to the federal government as part of the war effort. So that statue was melted down, her metal used for machinery needed by the military.
Today, a replica sits underneath the dome. You can see her here with oak leaves in her hair, representing the famous charter oak tree. She's holding mountain laurel, the state flower, and dried flowers representing long life. You can also find statues of the state heroine, Prudence Crandall.
Crandall defied the law. She kept teaching.
And the state hero, Nathan Hale.
I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country.
Beyond the physical features, there are also stories and legends that fill the walls.
So the center chair over the years earned the nickname Wishing Chair because people think the lieutenant governor might sit there wishing to become governor. We have a little legend that we might have a ghost. Governor William Buckingham, who was governor during the Civil War, did not work in the building. So we wonder about his haunting. But there's a story that says a lieutenant governor was working late one night, felt the classic ghost feeling. The room went cold, no windows were open, and supposedly he looked up and there was Governor Buckingham. And then back in the 1980s, 1990s, somebody else was working in that area and had the same feeling.
But another feeling more people have: pride of the building and the state.
All right, what surprised you the most about the Capitol?
I think, I've been in the Capitol a number of times for work. I don't remember taking a trip as a school group, though, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
What I did learn on this tour, though, was I think the clock tower idea was not even remotely in my brain as something that would be a possibility.
Right.
Which is so fascinating. Could you imagine the entire landscape of that building would be, and the skyline of Hartford would be totally changed?
Totally changed. That's amazing. Good
Yeah.
job. Good job.